Happy Saturday, everyone. Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. I'm so excited this morning.
And you are watching and listening to Be in the Driver's Seat. And I am Regina, the Queen, Regina, the Queen of Carlones
Y'all
at
know.
Joe Longhammer Chevrolet.
Okay, let me let you get that in there.
Yeah, I got to get
My
that in.
bad.
You
My bad.
interrupted me.
My bad. Well, good morning, everybody. It's Dr. T. Y'all see what I got to deal with this early in the
Every
morning?
Saturday morning, you got to
Every
deal
Saturday
with this.
morning.
You look forward to this.
Yeah, I do. You know, I'm so glad to be in the pod today. Man.
But you know what? When I'm like here and not here, she's like, "What's wrong with you?" Like my lipstick is off today. You know, I had to fit in about 2 minutes because my makeup, my lip still ain't right. But we gonna deal with it this morning.
I
Yeah.
thought it was great, guys, but hey.
So real quick. During tax time, I am offering Regina, the Queen of Carlones at Joe Longhammer Chevrolet. I'm giving you 3 choices. You can get 5 free oil changes, or $500 down, extra $500 down on a brand new car or used car, or what's the next one? $500 down,
5 free oil changes.
5 free oil changes, extra $500 for your trade. So you have 3 choices you can choose from, or you can put a credit application in at my website, ReginaTheQueenOfCarlones.com. ReginaTheQueenOfCarlones.com. 24 hours a day.
Yeah, so let me get this free commercial real quick. Look,
Go ahead,
if
go
you're
ahead,
looking
go
for a
ahead.
new car or a used car, contact Regina, the Queen of Car Loans. You can put your application online, no matter where you at. You could be at home, you can be out in the marketplace.
You can be in the
If you-
bathroom.
well, Regina has
You can
always
be
said that. But listen,
you can be at the table.
If you need,
Eating.
if you need a vehicle, y'all, go to Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and put your credit application in. You will not be disappointed. Yes, yes, yes. Family and friends, I do recommend them go to Regina.
Good credit, bad credit, no credit. I got you. You file bankruptcy, no problem.
See, she got you. So, hey, let's accelerate forward.
Oh, I like the way you segue into the word of the day, word of the week.
All right, listen. So, the word of the week is accelerate. So, when you think about accelerate, Regina has a great definition. What is the word for accelerate?
Actually, I kind of lost the last definition. So,
So, the definition that she told me is you can either go.
I got it.
Oh,
okay,
okay.
it's a different terms.
Okay.
So, key aspects of car acceleration, not accelerate, but car acceleration, it involves increasing the car speed for lower velocity to a higher velocity, typically measured at the time it takes to go from 0 to 60 miles.
Yeah, shout out
Boom.
to Sierra Crude Up. You saying they say they love it this morning. You watching this morning, Sierra? Good morning. So listen, like Regina said, accelerate. You have the advantage of going
From 0 to 60.
in a matter of seconds, depending on what vehicle you're in. But you know what? Regina
that'll be
go
a
to
matter
0
of
to
minutes
62. No, Regina can go to 0 to 62. So accelerate. So when I think about accelerate, as I said to Regina earlier, accelerating to me means, in this season that I'm in, I can either speed up or I can slow down, but I'm really health conscious right now. So before I do anything, I'm really asking myself, should I be doing this? What is this going to do for me?
But why are you, so acceleration, I refer to it as cars, right?
Right.
But you said health. Why are you referring acceleration to health? What is that saying to you? What is your body saying to you? Or what is your mind saying to you?
So, first of all, when you think about accelerate, you think about moving full speed ahead, right? And so sometimes we can get in the habit of just keep going and going and going, keep moving, keep going, because in the society that we live in, we're taught that you got to keep it moving, right? But I'm looking around and I'm seeing so many people leaving here daily. And I don't want to keep it moving. I want to keep it intentional. I don't want to just be aimlessly doing things anymore. So I need a mindset shift, right? What's more important to me now? Do I need to do this right now? Do I need to move in this direction right now? Or do I need to change lanes? And so when you think about accelerating, like you said, you can speed up, you can slow down, or you can change lanes.
So basically what it is called, you have to prioritize. You have to prioritize your health. You have to prioritize your job. You got to prioritize everything that you do.
Absolutely.
And I think because we grind so much, we don't prioritize right.
Yeah.
And I got to say for myself, I think everybody at this point, either in the last 30 to 60 days, has gone through some type of health scare. If it wasn't with themselves, it was with someone else, period.
Or even watching social media.
Right, even with,
people you know.
right. Or not, and watching people you don't know.
Yeah.
watching what they're going through.
Yeah.
I saw somebody that's famous. It was Dwayne Wade. December, I think it was 13 or 14, 2023. He had a health scare.
Yeah.
But we found out that 40%, he got 40% of his liver taken out. And he found out if it was taken out, it was cancerous. But he also realized that his father has prostate cancer. So he knows it runs in the family, but he realized after going to the bathroom more than a couple of times and not paying attention to it, is that he was having slower going to the bathroom issues. I'm not a man, so I don't know what the issues they're going through, but he was having issues. But what he said was also that he ignored them.
Yeah.
He ignored them.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that we can't do. We can't ignore our body.
Absolutely. And so that goes back to the acceleration. We got to slow down instead of moving full speed ahead. Sometimes we have to slow down and pay attention to what's going on with us. So, you know what? That's the word of the day. Those of you who are listening, if you can share with us what does acceleration mean to you, but we're going right into our guest. So we're so excited. So Regina, who we got coming on?
So we got Tamika Ramsey, owner and operator of Ramsey's
T. Ramsey
T. Ramsey and Associates.
Yes, T. Ramsey and Associates. And I'm so excited to have her here.
So listen, I got to get a background here because Tamika has supported the Queen for years, right?
Yeah.
And she, let me just tell you about Tamika. Tamika is about her business, right? When she gets a car from me, she supports me. She tells me exactly what she wants. But then also, when she comes in, I have to move everything out the way. You know why?
Why?
It's because when you have someone that comes and knows exactly what they want and they're patient, because I would be in your DM. I would text you. If you are a previous customer of mine, I will be in your text 30
Getting
days.
on your
Getting
nerves.
on your nerves
you do that.
consistently. I don't care if you're in Oh, do I?
Yeah.
Okay.
No matter if you're on vacation.
I don't care if you're on vacation. I don't care what you're doing.
See?
But Tamika Ramsey, owner and operator of T. Ramsey and Associates. Their mission is to provide strategic social impact consulting services to nonprofits. Yeah, I'm reading. And small business and government entities. Their goal is to lead clients toward can I get the word out?
Yeah, get the word out. Is that sustainability?
Sustainability. I can't even read these glasses. No. Sustainability by providing tailored solutions that enhance their operations and promote positive social and economic outcomes. Wow. For the communities they serve. We are driven by our commitment to economic, radical, and social justice and strive to make a lasting impact in the world. Wait a minute, I said the world. And through our work. Well, let me just say this. She has made a large impact in the community of Pontiac, right? The Yak.
Come on. So I'm excited to have you on. So welcome, Tamika. I mean, there's a lot to unpack here this morning, and I'm here for it. So good morning.
Good morning, ladies. Good morning.
Listen, you heard all of these wonderful things about you, but kind of tell the viewers and those that are watching and those that will listen to the replay, what's up? Who is Tamika Ramsey?
Tamika Ramsey is an East Sider of Pontiac.
East Side?
Come on, we
Spring Lake.
West Side.
East Side? I'm from the South Side, so South Side.
We won't judge y'all. We won't judge them.
So, okay, you said from Spring Lake. Okay, let's talk about it.
I have born and raised in Pontiac. Both of my parents came here at different times. My dad was a little kid. My grandparents brought him up here from Mississippi, and my mom came up here as a teenager. And so both of my parents are from the deep South. I was born and raised here, have 3 siblings, and have lived in Pontiac all but 3 years of my life. I love this city. I'm dedicated to the community and want us to all succeed. And so I do that in the work that I do. But I do global and national work as well.
Yeah. So I got to get in here. You already had your turn. Let me. See how
What,
Virginia
are we
woman?
arguing today?
Yeah.
Are we arguing today?
Tamika, I'm one of the reasons why I'm so excited because I remember meeting you years ago. Yes, I was born and raised in Pontiac too, but I remember meeting you years ago, and ever since I have known you, you have always been a person who wanted to make an impact. And I remember sending students over to you when you were doing Mother and Justice. So let's take us all the way back. How did you get into the field that you're in now?
So it's a long story, but I'll cut it down real short. As a black woman, there were as a black woman social worker. I was going to school because I wanted to make a difference. I got pregnant when I was 16, and just saw how having access to resources was a very privileged opportunity. Not, oh, anybody who deserves it is able. It's very privileged. You need to know the right people, have the right access. And I was like, that's not fair. So I became a social worker thinking that I was going to fix and change the world. Saw that as I was helping my clients do social work, policies were hurting them. Like, they teach us that social work, we have to fix the person. But what I learned is that it's the policies that are flawed that hurt people, really. And so I started doing economic justice. And I started through working with Mothering Justice and the Economic Justice Alliance of Michigan. And just have been, every time I try to take a step back out of it, my blackness, my hair, my uterus calls me back into this work.
Okay, woman. Okay,
It brings you
woman.
all the way back, huh?
All
Yeah.
the way back.
So what type of, because I see you not just in Pontiac, but the global,
Hmm.
Washington D.C. with the heavy hitters.
Lansing, yeah.
So in Lansing,
Mhm.
what type of impact? What are you actually doing when you go there? What actually are you? How are you making an impact there?
So what I do is I grassroots lobby. So there are issues that are very close to me, close to my community. We all can make appointments with our representatives, whether it be in district, in Lansing, or in DC, and hold them accountable to do the job that we elected them to do. I think more people should do it, but I have meetings. I take papers. I take community conversations and say, hey, in Pontiac, this is what we're talking about. What are you doing to help uplift our community? And if they're not doing what they need to do, remind them who they work for, and that their performance review is coming up in 4 years or 2 years. And if you want to keep your job, you need to do your job.
That's good. That's real good. But Tamika, I have a question. I know you were born and raised in Pontiac, and I know you went into the social work field, but why Pontiac? Why did you stay here?
You know, my father, God rest his soul, was very big on family and community. I claimed the East Side because, once again, I moved to Spring Lake when I was 4 and lived there until I was like 24. But my dad lived on Ditmar on the South
Mhm.
Side. So I can claim that too because I was riding my bike all over there every summer. And my father we had to shovel the snow for his neighbors because they mostly were seniors. I remember Miss B, Mr. Arthur. We used to have to
Oh, I
mow.
love them. You know, I grew up right there, right? Miss
Yes,
Delia and Mr. Arthur. I grew up right there on Arthur Street with them too.
yes.
Yeah.
So and we had to mow their grass. Like, we used to have to go help clean up and take.
Mm.
So community was really big to my dad, and it was, if one person on the block is succeeding and the rest of the block isn't succeeding, is that person really succeeding? Like, you
Mhm.
got to bring your community with you. And so my dad really honed that into me. I wish not as much, but he did, and it stuck. So I'm here.
Yeah. Wow. That's good. I remember as you were saying, Miss B, I could see their faces. And Mr.
Mhm.
Arthur, community was really community, like neighbors were really family during
Yes.
those years that I grew up over there.
Yeah.
Man. So Tamika, I know Regina, did you have a question for Tamika?
Go ahead.
Uh, Tamika, I wanted to ask you, just let's kind of talk about some of the programs that you are involved in and that you offer for the people in the city of Pontiac.
So thank you very much for saying that. So let me tell you, I started T Ramsey and Associates in 2025. In August, it will
In
be.
2025.
2025.
Oh, I'm sorry, 2015. Oh, sorry, that's this year. Okay, no, but we celebrate 10 years this year. That's
Woo, congratulations.
good.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And so we started off because of what I didn't have or what I did have access to. So when I started T Ramsey and Associates, I was doing a lot of the social justice work. So I was in Detroit, I was in Lansing more, and Detroit was at that time, they were starting up their small business stuff. So they had the foundations giving people money, they had the trainings, the workshops. And so, because I was working there, because I had friends who lived in the district, I had access to workshops that other people did not. And now, the same access or accessibility that I didn't have when I was younger, I now had and other people didn't have. And I
Mhm.
felt guilty as hell. I was like, I've been
Wait a
fighting.
minute, guilty as hell.
Yeah.
Guilty as hell because
Yes.
I was like, I have access to things that other people don't, and I know they need it just as much as
Yeah.
me. But because of who I know, because of where I work, I have access. So I felt guilty, right? Because as a young teenage mom, I saw some other teenage moms who families had the right last name getting access to services that I thought should have been open to everybody.
Mm.
And so, because of that, I was like, I have to fix this, right? Because now I'm on the receiving end of it. And so I started bringing all of those programs to Pontiac. And I was doing it for free. I want to say that I was funded. I was funded through corporate sponsors because my husband, every year when he got his profit sharing, he invested money in my business because I
Shout
wasn't.
out to General Motors. Shout out to General
Shout
Motors.
out to
Shout
GM,
out to General Motors.
Wait a
We
minute.
call it
Let's
generous Motors because my dad worked at General Motors. General Motors took care of the family.
well,
yeah,
So
we shout
shout
out
out.
General Motors, but let me go back and shout out the man of God. Let's go back to shout out your husband. So
yes,
let's throw his name out here too because he did the investment. He
he
could have been
did.
like, this for
Yeah, he
our
did.
household. We
He
ain't
did.
putting this in that. So
Hmm.
listen,
Yes.
let's put his name out here.
Yes, thank you, Michael. Thank you, Michael Ramsey Brown. So he invested, but it just allowed me to do the resources, the workshops for free. And so I was doing them for free up until 3 years ago. And so once again, the number one starter of small business in this country are who?
You tell me.
Black
Wait,
women. Black women.
Well, I wanted to say
wow.
it, but I'm like, you tell
We need
me.
you to answer that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, black. Listen, it's us. It is black women,
Mhm.
and most of us start businesses out of necessity. We
Yeah.
have a skill, we
Mhm.
have a talent, and we need money, right? Because
Yeah.
our jobs aren't making it. I remember when I started T Ramsey, I was doing it as a hustle. So when it was back to school time, when it was my kid's birthday time, I would pick up work. So what moves it from a side hustle to a business? Education and investment. And
Yeah.
so we just started to educate anybody who would come to the class, but 99% of my participants are Black women.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna say 90% because then we have women of other races, and occasionally we'll get a man in there. But 90% of all of our participants have been Black women. And so just being able to invest in them and help them. We also we stop ourselves, right? Because
Yeah.
it'd be like,
Yeah.
I can't fit them pants. I ain't gonna even try them on, right? And we know that different brands fit us differently, but
Yeah.
we have already. So there are women who are like, I can't do this, and will stop
Sabotage.
themselves, even though they are amazing at what they
Mhm.
do. And sometimes they just need that hand holding to help them get through it. And so that's what we do.
Can you go
So
back to that though? Like you were saying that we as women, some women, we will stop ourselves. We'll self sabotage ourselves. Could that be possibly because of our environment or what has been kind of pushed into us or what we see?
Yes, what we see and what we don't see,
Yeah.
right?
mhm.
And then social media will have us
Mhm.
stop because I'm competing with your pictures. And the only thing you got above me is a better photographer. I'm probably putting in more work than you. So
Mm-hmm.
we see things and be like, or we be like, oh, I'm 46 and I'm not to this level. I'm late. No, some of our best inventors, some of our best politicians and advocates started later in life. So I think we just see, because we have to be more realistic. We don't have the luxury of just daydreaming, because we have people and communities to take care of, people looking up to us. And sometimes we're the ones starting to break the generational curses. So it's all on us. And so we will limit ourselves in order to try to move our community forward when we're really just holding our individual selves back.
So I think a lot of people now, because of social media, because of Facebook, because of Instagram, is that we follow other people, right? And then we always look at what other people doing instead of looking at ourselves. And then we don't have individuals. It's not a lot of Tamika Ramseys out there that can offer programs and do things to help people, right? But I want to talk about the small businesses. I know that. Are you still doing the small business fairs that making sure that people are getting money?
Yes, in a different way, because I had this tumultuous, this real love hate relationship with the city of Pontiac. And so I was doing stuff for free because the city wasn't set up to do it. And then when they started getting resources, I was still doing stuff for free. Um, and once again, when I don't get paid, I still pay my associates. So not only am I doing stuff for free, I'm losing money because I'm paying people to help other people. And so I sort of kind of took a step back with that. But I have been awarded a contract with the city to do some small business workshops. So we're going to start again. And this is due to the city of Pontiac paying for those workshops for people in community. So we'll still be able to do workshops and to do one-on-one coaching for people.
So that goes back to the fact of you holding people accountable and having those meetings, taking your booklets and having conversations and realizing that they work for the people, not for themselves.
Yes.
Good. So, Tamika, do you have to be a resident in the city of Pontiac to take your classes that are being offered?
No, no, we have helped people in Flint and Detroit. I do these workshops online. I just finished up a workshop series with the Black Women's Roundtable, where we were helping women in Louisiana, Mississippi, DC, Virginia, Florida, across the country. And state you're in, but we are able to assist women across the country. We also have a workshop group from Colombia, South America as well. Once again, as long as we got some Wi-Fi and some electricity, we are training women on how to be small business owners.
So South America?
Yes, so we
Let's talk
went
about that.
for I went a couple of years ago with Black Women's Roundtable. We do diaspora work across the world, right? Because Black people are everywhere. And so we were able to be in South America, Colombia, South America for 10 days. And one of the things that we saw is the government there are like corporations here. Right, they are bought by the highest bidder, and people are competing with the government to do some of these things. And so a lot of these Black Afro Latina women don't even have support like we would of our government. And so we have just been helping them, excuse me, market, understand how to grow a business, how to make it sustainable, and for some of them, how to get their products here in the US, because they are amazing.
Mm. You know, as Regina was reading your bio, she read something that said that you do tailor-made solutions for businesses. So, kind of talk to us about that. So, I'm hearing you talk about women from all over the world, but how do you make them feel like this is specifically for them? So, I know you can have 50 people in a room, but if I'm coming for something that I really truly need, how do you tailor that just for me? And there's 49 other women in the room.
So we do a lot of one-to-one conversations, and when I say we hold people's hands, we walk with them, right? A
Mhm.
lot of consulting services is here's a checklist, do this, come back when it's done. But if I'm a mom, if I'm a daughter, or a granddaughter, and I'm responsible for taking care of my elders,
Mhm.
I'm working a full-time job and trying to do a business, you can easily get overwhelmed.
Right.
And so we meet with our people one to one to understand what their specific needs are. We plug them into workshops that help them, but we still keep that one to one connection, because even if you and Regina were both starting a business, that doesn't mean that y'all, just because y'all both are on step one, it doesn't mean that your experience or your education
Mhm.
leave y'all the same. So
Yeah,
we talk to both of y'all, figure out where y'all are, and then meet you where you are and help you move forward that way.
that's
So,
good.
so what does a course with you or consulting with you look like? I mean, because I see people on individuals on Facebook, women, they get certificates. What does that look like far as the time? Is it like 6 weeks, 8 weeks?
So we do a couple of different workshops, but our normal workshops are 6 weeks, 3 hours a week. Yeah, and we do some 12-week classes. We do a nonprofit boot camp, because everyone is passionate about helping the community. What our goal is to tell everybody's not meant to have a nonprofit. It
Mhm.
is a business, right? It
Mhm.
might be ran a little bit different, but it is a business, and there is a competitive model in nonprofit, the nonprofit industrial complex, as we like to so meanly call it. It's competitive, and funding is just not, it's not a money tree. It's very competitive. So are you writing grants? Do you have relationships with funders? Because people will try to find a grant writer, and spend a whole lot of money paying them to write some stuff. When you don't have a relationship with the foundation, you're
Mhm.
not going to get it, no matter how good the grant is. So we do a 12-week nonprofit boot camp, and then we still continue to do the one-to-ones. We also work with Oakland Thrive, which is doing amazing work in Oakland County. We're a technical assistance provider, and that allows us 4 hours of consultation and coaching with small businesses in Oakland County. And we work real hard in those 4 hours, and it's cut up, because if we can talk for 20 minutes, get homework together, and then hold that other 40 minutes for another time, we want to make sure that their time goes so that we can get them profitable.
So after the course is completed, then you do you help them with funding, or you steer them in the right direction to help them get funding to fund their business or the nonprofit?
So what we do, we stay in relationship with them. We are
Mhm.
part of a couple of different listservs, so we send out grants. I just signed up for Congresswoman Haley Stevens grant tracker, which we're going to start sending out to people. We teach people how to write grants using AI, and at least give them like a little outline of answered questions, so that if they need to apply to something, they already have the bones of the template there.
Wow. So you have given us a lot of information, stuff I didn't even know. And so I'm excited to learn these things. But how often do you find that a lot of times that people come before you, they have great ideas, they have a template in place, they know that they want to do business, but it's a mindset thing that they're not really ready. They know that they want to do it, but they're not really ready to move forward. How often do you come in contact with these people, and what do you do to help them?
All the time, all the time. I mean, I had that mindset for a long time, but let me explain why I provide grace to me and so many like me. When we go to school, who sets up our school day for us? The school district, right? They
Mhm.
tell us what time to be at school.
Mhm.
When the bell rings, it tells us when to move to the next class. They tell us when to eat lunch and when we get to go home. What does that sound like?
Yeah.
A work day. It sounds like a job. They are preparing us. They are teaching us how to work for somebody. Who teaches black and brown people? Who teaches women how to be employers and not employees?
Ah, that's good.
Everything that we do sets us up to be an employee.
Mm-hmm.
So when we start our business, what we do is become an employee of our own business. We're not even thinking about being the owner,
Owner.
right?
Wow.
And so when you know that
That's
and you see that, you start to work it back. You,
that's
you
right.
have to dismantle everything that you
Right.
know before you can build up on it. And that dismantling is hard when everything tells us to be an employee.
Right.
Everything. I'm so busy baking cakes in my business. I'm not sending invoices. I'm not marketing because I'm an employee. So what? How
Mhm.
can we move that mind frame? It is through therapy, right?
Come on here.
Therapy. We gotta have therapy, and because we have to unlearn and unpack what. When I told my dad I was starting my business, he was devastated. He was like, we came from the south to get good jobs. You need to go somewhere
Mm.
to work there and get a pension. And I was like, Daddy, you started GM where they have pensions. My husband doesn't have a pension. He got a 401k. It looks different.
Mhm.
Yeah.
These employers are not loyal to the employees.
Mhm.
So why should we be loyal to them? But it is a mind frame shift that is so hard that it took me 8 years of owning the business to get. So if it took me that long and I'm in it, it's going to take other people longer who don't see this every day.
So let me just say this. When we were laughing and we couldn't stop laughing to our viewers, everybody paying attention, and Tamika kept talking, we were laughing because Tamika said,
What does this sound
what does it
like?
sound like then? What time the schools tell you, or what time you got to be there, what time you leave. In other words, they tell you what time you got to go to the bathroom, or you got to ask to go to the
All of those
bathroom. You
things.
got to ask what time. Was it okay if I go to lunch? So
I said
Dr. T
jail,
said jail,
but
and so it
Tamika thought
sounded
I
like jail.
said job.
we said
It sound like jail.
we said jail.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
That's why we were laughing. But you know what? I'm so very glad that you referenced your father because I remember listening to Princess Castleberry, and she talked about breaking bad agreements. And sometimes we can take on the same agreements and mindsets of our parents and of our
Mhm.
grandparents and all, and that keeps us stuck, right?
Mhm.
And so when you talk to your dad and you said, my husband got a 401k, it looks different than a pension. Like I'm
Mhm.
starting my business, that lets the other generation, the older generations, they get paranoid in that because that's not what we're used to
Mhm.
doing. So you were breaking barriers even then. And so affording these women access, that was a word that keeps sticking out because you realize that you didn't have access. And so now you're opening the door for women or just people in general to have access.
Mhm.
And so it sounds very passionate coming from you. So knowing that this is something that you desire to do, like just offer access, how do you feel when people don't take advantage of the things that are being afforded to them?
I used to be hurt and devastated because one, I am doing this for free for them, right? It's at a cost for me, but
Mhm.
I'm doing it for free for them. And I want to make sure that everybody has these opportunities. So here, but what I learned is there's a time and place for everybody, and
Mhm.
everybody isn't
Mhm.
ready, and that doesn't make them bad people, right? They might have barriers. We are a very egotistical society,
Yeah.
Oh
so,
yeah.
people can be going through
Mhm.
stuff and they not letting they walking around with a smile on their face and they broke on
Mhm.
the inside and they house is toe up when they go home. But
Toe up on the flow up.
we
Mhm.
looking from the outside and it's like this house is beautiful,
Mhm.
but on the inside,
Mhm.
Yeah.
you barely got the studs
Mhm.
on the wall.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so once I stopped taking it personal and understood that people are going through their own journeys, what it allowed me to do is to show up for the people who come and
But when
give them my all.
when did you stop taking when did you stop taking it personal?
Yeah.
Um, I want to say, oh, it was years ago, last year, through therapy, 2 days a week.
I was gonna say,
Come on, transparency.
I think it was early on. I mean, I think it was like right now. I was thinking you said because I've been watching you.
Yeah, yeah. Listen. In December of last year,
Come on.
okay.
January
Transparent,
31st. Come
right?
on. Like, so if we could really be real, the reality of it is we do take things personal
Yes,
because we're human. We
yes.
are human. And especially when you know you got something good that will help change some person's life and they just can't see it. They don't want to see it.
No.
You want to help them more than they want to help themselves, but then they'll complain. And they'll be angry and mad.
You
Because
get in
that's
my
what we do.
inbox,
That's what we do. We complain, we mad, and it's us, and we putting it on somebody else.
Yeah.
yes,
So
yeah,
man, I'm glad that you were honest about that. But the reality of it is that it all lies within us. If we really
yes,
want something, we'll go do it. If I really wanted a hamburger, I'm gonna go get it. So if I really wanted a business plan, I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
seek
do it.
out somebody who
Hmm.
can help
Hmm.
me. So it really lies within ourselves. And sometimes we fooling ourselves. We make ourselves believe that we really want to do something that we have no desire to do.
But
Because
why do we do that though? But why do we do that?
because
because
everybody else
everybody
doing
else
it.
doing it.
But,
Yeah,
well, but you know what? It causes it's like you have to create your own lane. Let me just say this. I want to say this because we getting close here to ending the show. But you said something about treating the business as basically when you have a business, people go work for everybody else, right? I work for somebody, right? But you have to be able to treat whoever you work for, what you're doing, as your own business. Because if you don't treat it like your own business, then you have nothing.
Yeah.
You have nothing. And I'm gonna say this because I remember when I first got in the car business, right? I was terrified of not, if I don't sell a car, I don't make no money, right? But I had to start treating it like a business. So no matter what you do, I could say with you, Dr. T, what you do, you have to treat what you're doing as a business. Because
is
if
a
you don't have that caring and compassionate, then what you do is gonna go away. Because people
True.
come to gravitate to you because of who you are. They don't gravitate because who you work for somebody or you do this. They gravitate because of who you are and what you do and what you bring to the table. Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
It does, but I just wanted to tell Tamika I appreciate her saying that because just being a therapist, even in the city of Pontiac, I do free therapy all the time. Free.
All
And
the
I
time.
recently decided like no,
All
you
the
need to
time.
invest something. You need to invest something into this therapeutic process because when you don't invest in a thing, then you don't value it.
And you
And I've
take
even
advantage of
watched,
it.
even how my daughter used to do free things all the time. So when you are in the mindset of you're doing it free because you want to help somebody, you're not being a boss. You're
Because
not.
people,
You're not. You're no longer being a boss
well,
because you're not putting your business where it needs to be.
well,
yep.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. What people do is when you give something to people for free, they keep bringing it in. They keep bringing it in. And when they get the money or they have the money, they don't want to spend the money with you because you've been giving it to them for free. That's anything. I ain't talking about you. I'm just talking about in general, right? When you invest and give somebody something for free and they don't say, you know what, I'll just keep doing it for you because you need it.
Yeah.
But when they got it, or they might have it right now, they're trying to keep it and do something else with it. But and they don't value it. So I had to learn, you gotta put a you gotta put a price on something.
Yeah.
You gotta do something.
That's
I
true.
remember when I got my first ebook, you was like, well, you was like, no, you need to invest. People need to pay something.
Yeah, even
Now
if
I'm
you-
getting it for free, but people need to invest. And
Even if
people
they
were
pay a
paying.
dollar,
Right?
you need
People
to
were-
do something.
Right, because when people get it for free, it's like they just keep it moving. They take it for granted.
So Tamika, I want to ask you this. I know we're getting close to the show, but you said a mouthful when you said you used to do this for free, and you've been in business 15 years. So you did it 12 years for free. So, just talk to me a little bit about that. Like, you have to truly be passionate about something to do it free for 12 years. Now, I've been since 2011, so I can speak to that too. But kind of talk to us a little bit about, where was your mindset in that to where you were just doing it free?
So when I started, it was during emergency management, right?
Mhm.
And there were seniors who started the Murphy Park
Yeah.
camp who were using their Social Security money and community support to take care of these kids because the emergency manager had shut it down and these parents needed somewhere for their kids to go during the summertime. You had women during emergency management using their food stamps to start food pantries. This city is resilient.
Wow.
And then when people started coming back, organizations started coming back, only the legalized nonprofits, the 501c3s were started getting money hand over fist because it's like we're investing, but it was the people who was doing the work should have been invested in. And so I started helping people create nonprofits to start catching this money for the work they were doing.
Yeah.
So I was only invested in the people who were invested in my community. And they're like, oh, that's childcare. If kids in the summertime ain't got nothing to do or nowhere to go, they get in trouble. They
Yeah.
start to
True. Yeah.
impact safety and security in the community. So these seniors who were helping moms and dads with childcare were actually keeping the community safe. And so who was I to tell them I couldn't help them because they didn't have no money? And if I had to fundraise and help them get the money, then that's what I was doing. I was working at OSA and Autumn Butler was working at Lighthouse. And anything we got to do in the community, we made about community so we could reinvest in those groups.
Wow. That's good.
And can
Grassroots.
I also just say one thing?
Mhm.
When it comes to what Regina was saying about, making everything your business, but it's also about how you make people feel.
Yeah.
A lot of people in our community are broken, and y'all know, like, and most of the time they don't even know they're broken. And
Mhm.
so they look, they get treated bad and just assume that's normal. But
Yeah.
when I listen, I'll tell people I have bought my last 3 cars from Regina, and wherever she go, I'm gonna go too, because I know she's going to take care of me, and
Yeah.
I know that she sees me not only as Tamika Ramsey, but Tamika from the East Side.
Yeah.
I don't have to put on airs, and I can be myself and know that she's gonna treat me respectfully.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what we need back here.
Yeah.
We need people to utilize their businesses to start treating us right, reinvesting our money with each other so we can grow our wealth, and not just keep putting money in the pockets of people who will sell us bad food or have somebody follow us around the store because they think we're stealing.
That's good. I appreciate you saying that too, Tamika, because we do. Those of us that get our cars now.
I appreciate the
I ain't even
endorsement.
gonna talk about how many
I
cars I
appreciate
bought
the
from Regina,
endorsement.
but honestly, you go back because of
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah.
Amen. Yeah.
And so when you hear
Character.
character, right? So character, relationship, true, all of those things that help build up your communities, the things we don't normally see. You don't normally see women advocating like this. Listen, this program is here for you. I see you send emails out. You tell people, listen, this program is coming. It's available to you. You hold in their hand. So we appreciate that. And shout out to all the people that are watching. Denise, we see you. Good morning. Ramona, we see you. So all of you all that's chiming in saying good morning to Tamika. Tamika, do you have any lasting things to say to the viewers? And also, we want them to know how can they get in contact with you, get on your mailing list so they can find out what's going on. So that's a two for.
Okay, so they can email us at TANITH at tramseyllc.com and just say, I want to be on the list serve, and Tanith will add you, and then you'll start getting emails. So Tanith, TANITH at tramseyllc.com. And my closing remarks would be, everything everything is political. Everything is
Mm.
political. I wanted to get a stop sign on my street in Spring Lake because people were coming down the hill too fast, and me and my friends almost got hit by cars at 8, and you had to go to the city council to ask for a stop sign. Everything is political, and when we don't take our power, then these policies and these elected officials do things to us, not with us or for us. And we are coming into a very important election in the city of Pontiac, and people need to do
Yeah.
their research and understand who's running, what their platform is, not who they like, who their friends are, how much you see them in the community, but what is
Amen.
their platform? What is their experience? We are under a dictatorship at the federal level, and we need somebody at the city level who is going to protect us and fight for resources for us. And it comes with small businesses. I worked with the Treasury Department at the federal level with the Small Business Administration, and in December, I met with them and asked them, what does this landscape look like for micro enterprises and small business? She said, hopeless.
Wow.
Unless you're talking to your governor, your state rep, your state senator, your county commissioner. She says it's going to be, you have to focus on the state and your local relationships. And so we don't have the luxury to not be political. We cannot go back. We can't make our kids' lives worse than ours was, or the same as our great grandparents, not as women of color. And so I just ask people to do their research, to know who the candidates are and vote for the person, not who you like, not who your people like, but who is committed to moving this city forward. And every one of us, not just the halves, right? We need to make sure that the least among us are being taken care of, and who can we put in office to do that?
That's good.
You said a mouthful.
Yeah.
You said a mouthful right there.
I appreciate her saying
Yeah.
it too. So again, if you want to get on Tamika's email list, it's Tanith, TANITH at TRamseyLLC.com. So make sure you all get on that email list. You have a lot of people saying good morning to you, Tamika. Can you say good morning to the people?
Good morning, everyone. Thank y'all for coming today. And I appreciate being asked to be on the show. I adore both of you and have worked with both of you in many capacities. And just as much as y'all interview people who are committed to the city, I see the impact that both of y'all have, and I appreciate y'all.
And we
Man,
appreciate you.
appreciate you too.
So everybody that's watching the show right now that's new to the show, do us a favor, is please like our page, be in the driver's seat. If you are on our YouTube page, please subscribe to our YouTube page. And follow us. We do our show weekly, every Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Tamika, we appreciate you being on the show. You know I love you and appreciate everything that you do for the community. The one thing I love about you is that you speak your mind and you hold people accountable.
That's good.
So-
and we looking forward to seeing greater things being done in the city,
Yes.
and that you moving us even more further with access. So thank you so much, and we appreciate you for coming on this morning.
Thank you
Thank
both.
you.
Yeah, see
Thank you.
soon.
Bye-bye.
Happy Saturday, everybody.
Have a good week. Hi, it's Regina, the Queen of Car Loans at Joe Longhammer Chevrolet.
And I'm Joe Longhammer.
We're doing something special for tax season. You can get 5 free oil changes, or you can get an extra $500 for your trade-in, or you can get $500 extra for your down payment.
Regina can only handle 25 of these special deals every month.
Because I work personally on each loan to get the best deal possible.
When these 25 spots are gone this month, they're gone.
I'm Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and I'll get you approved. Come in and say, give me the queen, or go to thequeendeals.com.